Thank you. Thank you for having me in Riga. It's a real privilege to be with you. And normally I do this speech in French, but as I assume that many of you don't understand French, I will speak in English. So we have to find a third language to understand all of us together. So apologize, my Latvian is absolutely awful. I don't understand you. You will not understand me. So I really apologize for doing it in English. So I will do that into English. I will talk about humanity, staff-centered thinking. And I am Matjē Luizē. I'm an occupational therapist. I'm also hold a master in public health. I'm an Institute for Healthcare Improvement Fellow in the US, and I'm also a fellow of ISQUA, International Society for Quality. In my organization, PAQS, that stands for Platform for Continuous Improvement of Quality of Care, I'm the head of improvement services. And in Belgium, I'm the What Matters to You World Network Ambassadors. Do you know me with that? Yes, it's me, partially. I work for PAQS. It's right. I'm also an occupational therapist background. But I define myself with those slides only professionally. In the First Nation in Northern America, they also define themselves by the personal life they have. As a personal life, I'm also a hot air balloon pilot on my spare times. I'm also the proud father of 3 kids, twins, Com and Orient, and my grow-up Alex, the girl. And I grew them up with my wife, Amélie, and we do our best. Do you know me now? Yes, better, professionally and personally. And those things matters to me, professional and personal. It's so important to know what matters to people. And as healthcare leaders, we need to know what matters to people. We need to know what matters to our people, patient and staff. In 2022, in Belgium, we run a survey, a SCORE survey. SCORE is a tool that surveys safety culture, also resilience and engagement of staff. And we do it with the Safe and Reliable Healthcare Organization in the US. It was the first time that we have run a global survey in the French-speaking part of Belgium. We surveyed more than 17,000 healthcare staff, and we collect more than 4,000 answers. To the question, I feel burned out from my work, almost 40% of staff said yes. To the question, people in this work setting are burned out from their work, 60% said yes. I often think about leaving this job, 26% said yes. It's astounding. We never seen so high level of exhaustion into our healthcare forces. It's unbelievable that all our staff workers are absolutely exhausted. And I listened to the previous presentation, and I see that even in your country, it's almost the same. They are exhausted. And in fact, we think, and we argue with some colleagues in the last BMG leader publication that we have done, that there is a post-COVID-19 turning point where we need to reconnect healthcare with its mission and purpose by bringing humanity to the point of care. It's healthcare, it's not health cure. We need to take care of the people in our system. And in fact, it's not new. I didn't teach you anything new. Since 2012, in the New England Journal of Medicine, Dr. Barry and Ms. Egman-Levitan tried to make us shift our main question from what's the matter to what matters to you. And it's really a turning point. Already 12 20 years ago now. On the same years, at the International Forum on Quality and Safety in Paris, Maureen Bisogniano, a close friend, who was the CEO and president of the Institute of Healthcare Improvement, said the key principle, and they are very simple. Ask what matters to you, then listen to the answers that are given to you, and then consider how you can help the people. And there is many evidence since long times now that it works with the patient. It helps to high-quality care delivery. It helps to improve patient experience. It helps to improve patient-provider relationship. So it helps patient, but we also need to help staff. So we need to ask staff this question. There was early adopters of this movement in Norway and in Scotland, and they really set the stage of what matters to you movement. And they also set the stage for those three pillars that you listened this morning. The first one is what matters to patient, and it's so important. I know it. We are here to serve patients, but we also need to know the two second pillars. The first one is what matters to the organization. Why are we an organization? The last one, and perhaps not the least one, is what matters to staff. What is important to them? And if you are afraid to ask the question, you can use some conversation tools. You must ask what matters to people, and you can ask this question, but you can also ask what is important to you today, how can I best support to you, is there anything worrying or annoying you today? But then take notes of what they said matter to them, and then also take tracks of what you did, what we did to serve our staff. Don't be afraid to ask the question. Majority of the answer will fit in the top of this graphic. The first one, simple and very meaningful for people. Don't be afraid. It generally is very simple to answer to those what matters to people. The second part of the majority of the answer will fit in. You need collaboration, but it's doable. And a very few of them will be on the lower part of the graphic, complex and not easy to do. And yes, we need sometimes to face complexity and hard thing to do. And it also can be at very complicated, but at small scale. Can we help a few people? But the majority, it will be doable. It will be simple and meaningful for them. And why are we afraid as healthcare staff workers? Because there is invisible barrier. We are not used to really focus on the people. We are used to focus on matters, on issues with our patients. We are often too afraid to ask the question, and we need to ask this question because you cannot guess what matters to the other peoples. And there is very often a disconnection between meaning and purpose of role and a disconnection with others. I think I know what my patient needs. I think as a healthcare leader that I know what my people need. But is it really right? Not sure. When you ask the question, in general, we see that 60 to 70% of staff change practice as a result of asking the question. 70 to 80% staff learn something new, and 80 to 90% of people, staff, report it enhanced their conversation, their connection with the people in the system. So, as I speak in English to you, you need to translate first the question, what matters to you. You need to adapt all this to adopt. In French, for example, there is such a wide interpretation from English to French. We can use important, compte, motive, etc., and a long list of words in French that fit to matters. So in Latvian, find the right words. And to help you, find friends. In Belgium, we find friends in Switzerland. They also speak French, yes. And we try to define with them what is the right sentence. Here, you have friend just over there at 1 hour drive, I think, in Pärnu. In Estonia, they also run the What Matters to You campaign. So talk with them, and try to see how they can manage this. And in fact, all this is not new. There is one theory: compassion, humanity. It's the theory that is behind all those movements, and there is three specific movements that I want to mention. The first one is What Matters to You, but there is also in the UK a movement around kindness in healthcare with Bob Clapper. And Michael West also in the UK work on compassionate leadership. All those movements are only behind one theory: we need human being. Leading with kindness and compassion, there is many scientific-backed benefit. The first one is that employees' decision to stay in a job is largely come from a sense of belonging. When they feel valued by their leaders and have caring and trusting colleagues. Compassion and a leadership focus on well-being brings more meaningful relationship in the organization. It also brings loyalty. There is less burnout in such organization, there is lower staff emotional exhaustion, and there is lower employee absenteeism. It increases job satisfaction, employee or team job performance, and it have an effect on retention. So for us, what matters to you is the central question for everything. It's a vital sign. You can take blood pressure, oxygen level, etc. What matters to you is a vital sign. It is the first act of kindness. It empowers to show compassion. It's about patient and staff. And mainly, it brings humanity into healthcare. What matters to you is the first step to more human care on the road to kindness and compassion. And last, it's possible. It's possible because if you link all this in a framework based on evidence and to foster adoption, it can bring you to a framework for quality. Two pillars on this framework that we build with the IHI in the US. Two pillars. The first one is responsibility at different levels. Individual one, managerial one, and collective responsibility. But the organization also needs to be positives and try to be a learning system. You want all to improve day to day by all the staff to bring this magical circle of shared leadership, people engagement, and quality of care. But without purpose and meaning in healthcare, it's impossible. You cannot bring people to do something if there is no meaning, if there is no purpose of what you ask them to do. If you want to join the What Matters to You world and the current global movement, you can join us because we are more than 50 countries now using What Matters to You, more than 2,000 plus teams all around the world using What Matters to You. And if you want to join the movement, you can join the monthly call on each third Wednesday. You can share stories and material, visit the website. And most of all, if you search for an excuse to ask what matters to you, be on June 6th and ask and use the What Matters to You Day all over the world. And finally, and I will finish on that, think how you can implement this in your daily practice or life. Connect and share with peers working on same care setting. And start yourself what really matters to you as a staff member, as a healthcare leader, and then join the movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.